First comment, just fired up, outstanding character, outstanding academics, and then just great football players. We've been able to fill a lot of needs. Like anything, recruiting's never over. It's something you do every day. But at the same time, the kids that, as they came onto our campus, we had just over 70 kids take visits here. And to be able to get the group that we have, it's a special group. We identified what we needed and what are the things that came up, and we were able to do that. Some of the big key factors for us were offense and defensive lines, improving our athleticism at the linebacker position as well as at the skill position on offense, and we were able to do that stuff, and that's definitely the exciting part. And then with Griff, senior kicker, graduating, it's definitely finding a kicker to come in. So there's still a couple spots we've identified, and we'll continue to monitor those. And there's some kids that visited briefly or just recently, and we'll find out there. And I got to first thank our administration and all the help that they did and provided us, all the people on campus that helped these kids as they had their visits, where they took tours, academics, all those things. Our athletic director, for all the things that he did, he visited with a lot of kids when they were here and his families. And then our coaching staff, they did an incredible job. I think the strength of us is our who we are and what we are, and it resonated with a lot of those individuals that made the commitment, and kids that left bigger scholarships because of the belief of what's happening here and the excitement, because of the leadership that Rocky has, as well as the excitement in our program after this last fall, and then just our kids in our program and the belief that the best times at Rocky Mountain College football are definitely in the very, very near future.
Where do you think the strength of this class really lies?
Probably the overall depth of our D-line. Really impressed. Not that we didn't bring in, we played 2 true freshman D-linemen a year ago, and we redshirted a number of others. But it was definitely, we needed to get more depth there. And so we were able to identify that. Offensive line is always going to be an issue. I think you got to recruit an offensive line every single year. And we have 3 seniors in our offensive line this coming fall. And as they graduate, we want to make sure we have kids in place and let them develop, as well as the others that redshirted this last year. Now you feel really good with that next group, a batch of offensive line coming up as well.
Any lessons learned from after doing the first round of last year to getting your first signing class to things that maybe made it a little easier this year?
I think things are established. You had success in the fall. You lost some close games, you won some, but you have stable growth. You have a lot of things that are happening on our campus, so that's a big plus. I think the kids in our program, we talk about there are a lot of great things that Rocky can provide these student athletes as they're coming in, but ultimately it's about our student athletes in our program. That's truly the best part of our program, and it's great to have that interaction between those that come on campus and be around our players.
I know last year you guys had Casey Cole, and they did kind of just last second not be able to join the program, and so kind of left you guys wondering about the quarterback position. Now you get them both back. What does that do for you guys moving forward?
It makes us better, man. Competition makes every program better, and it's just exciting. Like I said, it was whether what things happened and what didn't happen during that time. Ultimately, it's about relationships. We felt good our whole time recruiting those individuals last year, a year ago, and they had opportunities and they wanted to take those chances, and I applaud them. But then at the same time, big arms welcome them back, and they make our program better, and it's always exciting to get players of their caliber joining our program because, like I said, it makes us all better.
Did the winning season help open a few more doors, get a little bit more attention?
Possibly. I think there's some things there. Ultimately, you're going to choose a school for a lot of different reasons, but ultimately we wanted kids to identify and first see the fit here from an academic billings. It's a great selling point. The network that they can build while they're in school here, internships, the availabilities and those things. So it's easy to present those things, and kids see that as a benefit too. Because ultimately, we're not going to have a lot of kids come through and make the NFL. So ultimately, it's about really finding that academic fit that's right for you. And the things that are here that Billings can provide, Rocky, the education. So all those things become very, very important. And I keep going back to this. It's our players. Our players are key.
When you look at the class as a whole, kind of about what you did in state and the Montana kids, and how do you think they're going to impact?
Yeah, it's a fight. There's obviously an outstanding league in our state. A lot of schools play football. You know, the addition of Coach Hauk coming in, you know, Montana State, some of the things that have changed that allowed them to kind of go a little bit deeper with the recruits within the state of Montana. So you're constantly fighting those as well as you're fighting the opportunities that other schools in our league have. And so that's always going to be a fight. Obviously, you always start first at home, and you try to find a way to get those kids, develop the relationships, and get them to come our way for sure. But obviously, you always want to recruit Montana first, and we're excited about those that want to be here. Like I said, not everybody can be here, but we're definitely excited about the ones that chose Rocky.
I mean, on top of that too, you also got 9 guys from Arizona. Like, how did that kind of become a place you're going to get kids?
Yeah, well, the direct flights help. We had a couple of relationships 2 years ago, you know, Braxton Baniszewski, and then we had a couple others join us last fall as well. And then it was just kind of, I think as Coach Stutz went down there, he's able to widen his recruiting base, more contacts, more relationships. And then honestly, it's the kids that come in and visit. As they visited, they've really felt it and they've experienced it. And even some of those kids that committed, you know, they left bigger scholarships on the table just because of the excitement and the things that are going here, which makes you feel like you're doing things right for sure.
What about the same thing with the Boise connection? You guys have really established a nice foothold in that. What is it about that area that you like or that you guys have been able to do?
I think, you know, relationships, I'll start there. You know, my brother, Coach P's gone down there now the last couple years. You know, 2 years ago, we had 2 incoming freshmen from the Boise area in Denton Weatherall and Josh Kraft. Both played as true freshmen. So we really kind of looked back and said, well, let's find out a little bit more about this area. And last year, we were able to get a good number of kids out with 6 of them. You know, of our 8 true freshmen that played, 5 of them were from Boise area kids. And so it was a spot that we want to continue to grow. And as we've kind of gone down there now, people know who we are. Those first couple years, I think teams were still trying to figure out who we were, our high schools were, and there's a comfort there, and the kids that are coming there are having success on our campus. So in that turn, it's great. And again, they come here and they see it and they experience the things that Billings can provide for them, and it's definitely been a positive, especially as kids that have come from the Boise areas have had success.
You know, is it kind of more exciting now to see more of Jason Petrino's team kind of come to shape? Because, you know, you come in as a new coach and you're taking over somebody else's recruits, somebody else's players, and, you know, you're kind of making the best out of it. Now you've got a couple of recruiting classes coming in. You've got, you know, a little bit more of your own foothold. You know, how does that make you feel just as a coach?
Well, ultimately, it is the players in Rocky. I mean, they chose to come to Rocky, and ultimately, it's the Rocky football program. Just very blessed to be a part of it and be the one leading. But this coaching staff here in this room, I mean, they work their butts off. And we know not only we're out on the road recruiting for the week, but now we're here on Friday, you know, early, and then we're having, you know, up to 30 kids visit in a weekend between a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, Monday. And you know, we're not going home during those times. We're sitting here, we're developing those relationships, we're monitoring the kids, and so January is definitely a grind. I mean, we had 4 recruiting weekends, and it's tough. And plus, you have all your kids coming back, and making sure everybody's in the right class and those types of things. So ultimately, it's the Rocky football program, and really that's how we sell it. That's what we are, it's who we are, and it's great as kids come here and they see it and they experience it and they feel, you know, the pulse of this program and the direction in which it's going, and that's the exciting part for sure.
When you look at the skill positions in this class, just kind of talk about what characteristics you got excited about.
You know, playmaking ability at the receiver position. You know, we wanted to find somebody that could stretch the field, and we feel we've done that with a couple of individuals. And then we found people that can take that 2-yard catch and make it into a, you know, 12, 15, 20-yard gain. That ability for sure. Our return game, you know, between Carter, that was big for us. Finding a kid that had the success as a kickoff and punt returner, and then also have the ability also to have an impact on offense. And then linebacker-wise, we really wanted to find some, improve our athleticism as a whole. We feel we've been able to do that. And then, you know, we took a big DB class a year ago, and so it wasn't necessarily something we needed. We were excited. We had a couple plays, true freshmen, but we redshirted a good chunk of them, and we're excited about their development here as we get into spring ball as it comes up next. But we filled some needs there. But we're definitely excited as a whole in terms of our skill positions and where we're at. And then, you know, we took some athletes, guys that, you know, some played quarterback, but we feel that they can play a lot of different areas on our football team, and that was important for us for sure.
Talk about there's 7 guys, mid-year transfers that are here already enrolled, going to participate in spring. What kind of advantage does that give them just getting ready for a fall camp?
I think tremendous. Some of them, were in a football program last fall, and some of them weren't. And so those are some of the things right there. You're trying to get them acclimated as quickly as possible. All of our kids that redshirted, they're learning how to lift in the fall and kind of developing a little bit. But then as you dive into a winter program, I mean, it's full go. And it's getting those kids that maybe kind of wanted the idea of playing at other places and it didn't happen for them, and they missed football, or they went to another school and they missed football and they come back. And I think as they get into our group of student athletes, I keep going back to that. I mean, they just fall in love with the process, the things that are happening, the things that are going on. Those 7 individuals that have come and joined us mid-year have been fantastic. It's everything we had hoped for, and that's the thing that's exciting. And they're just going to be so much further ahead as we go through our installation in the spring and spring ball, and then also being here in the winter or in the summertime. All those things are going to benefit us as a whole, and it gives us a great chance to truly evaluate them the entire process of winter program as well as spring and summer.
Everyone's going to sit in this meeting somewhere today across the country and say that they've got everybody they wanted and they're winning. But do you really feel like you addressed the needs you set out when you started?
Yeah, I think as we sat down, I think the first one was D-line. We need to increase our depth. Our numbers were pretty low there last year. Offensive line, we're always, I see it as, you have 3 seniors, and you don't want those 3 seniors to go and then all of a sudden you're bringing in a brand new offensive line. And so you got to have that development definitely in there. We were short on numbers at D-line. We wanted to improve our athleticism. So yeah, we got better. Did we win every battle? No, and that's okay. And like I said, you choose a school for various reasons, but we're fired up about the guys that want to be here and that want Rocky, because it makes us all better. And we're definitely excited about where we're at and the things that we needed. But I'll also sit here and tell you, recruiting's never over. We had a group of individuals that visited this last weekend, and now we're in a situation where they're going home and having discussions or visiting with other schools and things like that. So you never know what could happen, and that's still great to know that those kids still feel highly about Rocky as they go through their process. It's just now's today the day that we get to talk about them, those that have.
How many more do you expect to add?
Right now, you have 43 total, 36 of them being freshmen. We'll probably add another handful. I mean, shoot, we have kids that are going to wrestle at state this weekend that, are waiting until after state to either take their visits or make decisions and those types of things. So who knows? Maybe if we get lucky, we'll get a handful more.
State wrestling?
Say it again?
Are you guys going to be out at state wrestling?
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Looking for linemen, it's a good place to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody have anything else? Anything you want to say?
No, just fired up. Thank you. Check the rock.